Have you ever gone through so many life changes at once that you don't even recognize who you were a year ago? Well, that has literally been my last year. I've gone through so many identity shifts. I don't even know who I am anymore. Welcome back to the Activate Effect, y'all. I'm your host, Elizabeth Pastrano. This year has been a year of so much transition, transformation, growth. I've had so many identity shifts in one year. I moved to a new city. I started a business. I created a new network of entrepreneurs. I am learning all these systems for the first time. And I don't know if you know this, but the average person goes through identity shifts they go through one every 5 to 10 years. And I've literally have probably gone through 5 in 1 year. So now I understand why I feel like I'm going crazy, because I literally am just in this whirlwind of craziness right now. But one of the identity shifts, one of the things I was not prepared for this year is accepting help, y'all. Accepting help and or asking for help. I never learned this. I never figured out how to do this. Since I was a kid and growing up in my circumstances, I always had to figure it out. It was always up to me to figure it out. I was the firstborn. I was the first gen. I was the first one to get out of the struggle. I was the first one to go to college, the first one to move out of state, the first one to climb the corporate ladder, just the first of everything. I even remembered when I made the decision to go to college, and I took a year off after high school. And I finally decided, I hit rock bottom, first of all, which is a story for another day. And I remember telling my dad, "Oh, Dad, by the way, I decided I'm going to go to college." And he was excited. He was like, "That's great. But like, newsflash, you got to figure it out. So no one has money to help you. And so you want to go to college, that's great, but you need to figure it out." And so I figured it out. And that is an example of like how it's been my whole life. No one is coming to save you, and you need to figure it out on your own. And so I grew a particular type of exterior and walls where like I didn't need anybody because I needed to figure it out. I needed to put this brick wall together by myself. And so I didn't realize how much of these walls I put up because I just needed to figure it out. And yes, as the oldest and growing up in the struggle and seeing, the rat race of people around me, it naturally comes with the territory. And I didn't realize that there was something different out there because I didn't have support systems. I didn't have a mentor. I was not surrounded by the organizations that I know of now. And that's why I'm such an advocate for those organizations to send the elevator back down, because I realize how important it is with community and with people. But growing up and living my entire life, I did not know this. And I always had to learn the hard way, or now I realize I made myself learn the hard way. I had to figure out if the decision was going to work or not work. And that was on me. But this year has taught me something that I wish I learned sooner. That you don't have to carry transition by yourself. And actually, it was a reminder, everything this year, that I will go further and farther faster with community, with help by people. And we've heard all this before. Like, I literally have told people this, but I never took my own advice. Do as I say, not as I do. And I want to share this personal experience with you in case any of you out there are the same way. I recently celebrated a new birthday. Yes, y'all, your girl's another year older. I'm so excited. I cannot believe I'm 41. We'll talk about that another day. But every year I process, like, how did the year go? Like, what could I have done better? What worked? What didn't work? What are my goals for this next year? I know, y'all, I don't give myself any time to rest. I'm always looking for the next thing, how to elevate, how to be better. Like, I'm my biggest critic. I know that. And with my birthday brought some incredible gifts for my business. And these are the gifts that I've been praying for. And the gifts that I'm like, I need this to do, I need this to function better. I need this to like process things better. And then literally my birthday brought these gifts. And my initial reaction, y'all, and these were gifts I've been praying for, and gifts I'm like, I'm going to try to figure out how to get these gifts. Then these gifts are coming my way literally overnight. And I'm like, my first reaction is, no, I can't accept these gifts. I can't accept these gifts because I could do it on my own. I've been praying to God. I've been figuring out the ways, like, I can get these gifts for myself. I can get these gifts for my business. I don't need any help. I can do it on my own. I'm bootstrapping my entire business. I got this. And these are the types of gifts that literally were bringing tears to my eyes. And I could not accept it because these walls, like, that were up, accepting these gifts means like I have to tear down these walls, which I didn't even realize at the time. But I'm like, there was so much resistance, and I was fighting so hard to not accept these gifts. And then I realized that accepting these gifts were more for the other people and not for me. These were gifts coming from people who loved me, who support me, who want to be part of my movement. And me not accepting these gifts meant that I was not allowing them to be part of my life, to be part of my business, to be part of my support and ecosystem. And accepting the gifts was probably even more important for them than it was for me. And it was also a reminder, what we know is when you go further and farther faster with community, and my community was literally helping me with my business to get somewhere further and faster. And my initial reaction was to say no, y'all. Once I came to my senses, I accepted these gifts, and I realized that how important community was. And during this transition and this acceptance and like putting down these walls to say yes to these gifts, I know, y'all, some of you are probably like, oh my gosh, why wouldn't you accept the gifts? Like, just accept the gifts. But this is my story, y'all. It was just like so hard to accept these gifts. Like, I don't know. Maybe I have a value limit on gifts. Like, you can only give me a gift of like $25 and I'll be okay with it. Anything higher, I'm not gonna accept it. I don't know. I'm just giving an example here. So there was so much resistance. And what I realized is like having this resistance against accepting these gifts was causing so much negative energy inside of me, because I was like literally fighting. Like the brick house is literally fighting against the wind to not fall down. And then when I let it go and I just let the bricks fall and I just let the wind take over and I just accepted the gift, then I heard a message from God. And God literally said, you have been praying for these gifts. I'm literally using these people as vessels to give you these gifts. If you do not accept these gifts, then how are you going to accept any other gift that I give you? And right now, these gifts are major gifts to me. And I don't want to make them sound like they're less than. But in the grand scheme of the gifts God has planned for me, these are small. And God is literally telling me that if you cannot accept these small gifts, how are you going to accept anything greater? How are you going to accept anything bigger? And then that's when it hit me. Like, all of this was a test. All of this was a test to say of how to learn how to accept love and gifts from other people, how to accept and be reminded that God works through people to give you exactly what you need. But all you got to do is be willing to say yes to that. So, the whole point of my business And my coaching is I want you all to follow your dreams. Sorry, guys. I got really emotional because it just meant so much to me. And then it always means something extra when God is like literally like, hello, when are you gonna wake up? And so I want you to wake up. I want you to work on that dream that you have been sleeping on for the last 10 plus years. I want you to not have any regrets on your deathbed. I want you to activate. And the whole point of this episode is to tell you and remind you that accepting help from people doesn't make you less than. When you accept help from your community, when you accept love and support and gifts and all the good things, you only go further and farther faster with your support group. I know how great it is to be on your own island. I love my alone time. I love being by myself. I love being on my own island. I love my own beach. I love my own palm trees. I love not having to share my feast with anyone else. I mean, I love sharing meals with people. I love breaking bread with people. But, I'm just like giving you this analogy. I understand 100%. But it is so much better when you invite people to your own island. Like you actually get to have a party. You get to have a dance party on the island. You get to have a feast with people on the island. You get to go boating with people. Like boating by yourself is so lonely. So why are you going to take that experience away from yourself and away from other people? So this is a reminder to accept the gifts, accept the love, accept the support from people. People want to help you. Your loved ones want to help you. They want to see you succeed. And accepting these gifts doesn't make you less than. Being the oldest, being the first gen, being the person that had to figure everything out on my own, it has been so hard, y'all. And this is a lesson of accepting help and accepting love and accepting support from other people. It's taken me 41 years to learn. And I want you to learn from my lessons. And I want this to help you that you don't have to carry transitions by yourself. You don't have to be on an island by yourself. There are people that want to support you, love you, and help you succeed. And if you are a believer of God, I believe God created the universe. I believe everything around us is by that. But whatever you believe in, allow yourself for people to love you. Allow yourself for people to support you and care for you. Accepting help is not weakness. It is actually an act of alignment. If this has resonated with you, if someone else could learn from this, please send them this episode, like, follow, and share. I'll see you on the next one.